If you've been waiting for that mid-generation PS5 price drop, it looks like that's probably not going to happen. It's Sunday, so let's get sensational. I'm Mike, and I'm back to talk about the gaming news. And the PS5 is back in the news this week, actually 2 different times, but in this story we're talking about the plain old regular crusty PS5, not the PS5 Pro. We'll talk about that later. But a couple of years ago, both Sony and Microsoft raised prices of their consoles in regions outside of the US. Well, since then, things had kind of quieted down about the hardware pricing. We had also seen Sony launch the PS5 Slim with some pretty good bundles, including some games, and they took some money off the system at launch. So you would figure that they were heading to a price reduction, especially with them doing this rumored PS5 Pro, that again we're going to talk about later. Well, it's quite the opposite, as Sony has raised console and accessory prices in Japan by 19%. And Sony is quoted as saying it's due to a challenging environment, and I believe them because personally, my environment would be challenged too if I had to pay those prices for a PS5. So the equivalent price in USD for the disc-based console is about $554. So yeah, it's quite a bit more expensive to get a PS5 in Japan right now, or at least after September 2nd when the new pricing takes effect. I mean, it sucks that the consoles this generation seem to be getting more expensive, but I don't see prices decreasing anytime soon. In fact, I'm sure the rumored PS5 Pro is probably going to be like $600 at this point. Which is why you may just want to get a Fire Stick for games, especially with Game Pass streaming now being available on certain models. By the way, that was just a transition. I'm not seriously saying to buy a Fire Stick over a PS5 or an Xbox or whatever. But anyway, if you want to do that, it looks like Microsoft has added support for more Fire Stick and Fire TV models. So originally it was just the 4K and the 4K Max models, but now they've added a couple more options to the lineup. So now the 3rd generation Fire TV Cube and the 1st generation Fire Stick 4K Max are available for Game Pass streaming. I'm not sure why they've been so slow on this rollout. I'm guessing they want to test each device and make sure it works well with their controller and the streaming component. But yes, in case you were wondering, Microsoft streaming is still on Fire Sticks. More Fire Sticks. And speaking of fire, Sony's PR department is probably on fire after another apparent leak, and this time it was from their website. I think it was just like a couple weeks ago that the PC version of Red Dead Redemption leaked on the PlayStation Store somehow, and now the release date for one of their upcoming games has apparently leaked through their website. So the upcoming Sony and LEGO collab, LEGO Horizon Adventures, didn't have an official release date yet, but due to a page presumably going up early, it has been inadvertently revealed. So briefly on PlayStation.com's homepage, it had a promotion for LEGO Horizon Adventures with a blurb saying it would be available for PS5, Switch, and PC on November 14th. And then, in similar fashion to the Red Dead story, the page was quickly changed. So yeah, if this is accurate, the game is probably coming in a couple months, which wasn't surprising since it was supposed to come out by the end of the year anyway. It's just kind of funny that somehow this information keeps leaking by people accidentally publishing things on Sony's platform early. But at least it's not the case with the most recent PS5 Pro leak, and that's what we're talking about today. In our final story. So last time we talked PS5 Pro, it was mainly about the performance rumors and that it would be out by the end of this year. But since then, we haven't heard much about the system. Last year, when the PS5 Slim got close to launching, we started to get more leaks, including pictures of the system right before it released. Well, we have a new potential leak of the PS5 Pro and a release window. So Bill Kuhn, I hope I said that right, via DLive's magazine is claiming that they've seen the PS5 Pro's packaging and claims they'll be releasing soon. The part of this that's a little weird is this markup. So apparently they've seen the package, but I guess they didn't want Sony to come after them, so they drew a picture of how the console looks. I mean, I imagine that this is probably how it looks. It looks like a bigger version of the Slim consoles, but with more ridges in between the plates. I'm not gonna lie, for some reason when I see the drawing, it reminds me of an accordion, and sometimes it also reminds me of an ice cream sandwich. It kind of has this melty quality to it. But anyway, if this is true, it would make sense because it was around this time last year when the Slim started to make its way through the supply chain and pictures of it started to leak. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some actual pictures of either the box or the console before it's officially revealed. But I'm curious to see how you feel about the PS5 Pro, because I know in the last video about it there were some comments where it was like, we want more games, not a more powerful system. So let me know if you still feel that way or if you're more excited for the PS5 Pro now. Again, let me know down below. And if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to tell a friend, tell a coworker, like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell notification button thing wherever it is to be notified when I drop a video or a live stream. I always do at least 2 things at the same time.